The topic we have here this morning is enlargement and scale factors. But before we start solving problems on this topic, I would like us to understand certain rules that are concerned with this topic. Firstly, the size of an enlargement or reduction of a shape is determined by its scale factor. What do I mean by that? For example, if you are given a scale factor of 2 in a question, it means the new shape will be twice the size of the old shape. What do I mean by that? Like for example, if you are given a particular shape and you are told that the shape have a scale factor of 2, it means if you are getting your new shape has to be 2 times bigger than the shape that was given to you. That's for that one. And for another example is, if you are given a scale factor of 3, it means the new shape you are going to get should be 3 times bigger than the shape that was given to you in the question. So that's that. And another one you should take note is that a fractional scale factor, for example 1 over 2, 1 over 3, these numbers are numbers that are less than 1. So it would always have its shape smaller than the original shape that was given to you. Like whenever you are having a number that is lesser than 1, you should always take note that your new shape has to be smaller than the old shape. What you would always get after drawing your shape, you will realize that it will become smaller compared to the old shape that was given to you, because you are given a scale factors that are lesser than 1. So another one we should take note of is that an enlargement with a negative scale factor produces an image on the other side of the center of enlargement, and the shape would be upside down. What do I mean by that? When you are given a negative scale factor, you would notice that after drawing your new shape, it will be on the underside of the center of enlargement, and the shape would be upside down because it's a negative scale factor. So your shape will be at the side of the negative on your graph, and the shape will turn out to be the opposite of the original shape that was given to you. That meaning it will turn upside down. So those are the 3 major rules we should always take note of when solving this particular topic. Now I have a series of examples that can help us with what I have said so far. Now my number one example is the size of a rectangle measure 8 cm and 6 cm. If the rectangle is to be enlarged using scale factor of 3 over 2, what is the new length of the sides? What is the new length of the side? Here I have my diagram of a rectangle with 2 sides. We have the size of the y-axis to be 6 cm. We have the size of the x-axis to be 8 cm. It's 8 cm. So we are asked to look for the new length of the sides with a scale factor of 3 all over 2. So how do we do that? So what we are just going to do is that we have been given our original shape to be 8 cm and 6 cm. Those are the original shapes. Then we were given our scale factor to be 3 all over 2. So what do? We are just simply going to multiply our original shapes, the size of the original sizes by the scale factor that was given to get the new sizes, So now, what's our original shape for the length for x-axis? Our original shape for x-axis is 8 cm. So we are going to multiply it by the scale factor, which is 3 all over 2. So what do we get? So we get 12 centimeter. meaning our new shape, our new side will now be 12 centimeter. After multiplying it by the scale factor, we will get our x-axis to be 12 centimeter. Then we will do the same thing for the y-axis. We were given 6 centimeter. So we are going to multiply that by our scale factor, which is 3 all over 2. So what do we have? So we have 6. We have 6 centimeter. So now our new y-axis will now be 6 centimeter. We are given 6. 3. Oh, sorry. So we are given our new y-axis will be 9 centimeter. So that is on the y-axis. Now we are going to redraw the shape, our rectangle, in so much that the x-axis we have the size of 12 centimeter, and the y-axis we have the length of 9 centimeter. So now let's draw our new rectangle with our new size that we've gotten. So we have the x-axis. We have to ensure that we have to ensure that we have accurate measurement. So it was our y-axis is going to be 9 centimeter, 9 all the way to 9. We stop here. Then our x-axis is going to be 12 centimeter. 12 centimeter. So we'll draw all the way to 12 centimeter. We would ensure we get accurate measurements by using our ruler. So we've gotten that. So now we've drawn our rectangle. We use our ruler in order to have accurate measurements. So we have our x-axis to be 12 centimeter. So let's go label that 12 centimeter. Then we have our y-axis to be 9 centimeter. So now we are done. That's all we will have to do. So now we've gotten the new shape, the new size of this rectangular on the x-axis is now 3/2 times bigger than the whole side, which is 8 centimeter. Now we've gotten 12 centimeter. Now on the other side too, the new shape, the new side is now 3/2 bigger than the former side, which is 6 centimeter. So that is how we were asked to do. Now if you look at the two rectangles, you will see that this one is smaller than this. So that's the idea. The idea is to make, when you're asked to enlarge a shape, in as much as the shape is not less than 1, so the shape is expected to be bigger than the former shape, that is the original shape that was given to you in this question. It is only when the scale factor is lesser than 1 that your shape will become smaller than the original shape that was given to you. But in as much as it is bigger than 1, it is expected that your new shape should be bigger than the old shape, as it is seen, as it is shown in these two diagrams. This is the shape that was given to us. This is the new shape we've gotten with the help of our scale factor 3/2. Thank you. Now let's go to example 2. A fractional scale factor, that is scale factors that are less than 1 would always have its new shape smaller than the original shape that was given. What do I mean? Let's check it from the work example. I have an example here. Draw the enlargement of shape A with a scale factor of 1/3, a fraction that is lesser than 1. So we are expected that our new shape should be smaller than the original shape that was given, because we have 1/3, which is lesser than 1. And center of enlargement is 0, 0. What do they mean by 0, 0? 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. So our center of enlargement, we have 0 here. This is our 0 on the y-axis, on the x-axis is here. Then on the y-axis also, this is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. So we have our center of enlargement. Let's make a point here. This is our center of alignment is 0, 0. And also we're told that we should draw a scale of shape and draw the enlargement of shape A with a scale factor of 1/3. A scale factor of 1/3. How do we do that? Scale factor of 1/3. Of 1/3. How do we do that? Now on this shape A, we can see 4 points. There are 4 points on the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are going to look for the scale. We are going to enlarge the 4 points. How do we do that? Okay, it is simply by, firstly, we have on our x, this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So now let's look at the places where the points are. On the x-axis, the first point, we have the first point to be on 3, on number 3. On number 3, we have our first point to be on number 3. First point, let's label this first point is on number 3 on the x-axis, and also we'll trace it down to y-axis. It is also in number 3 on the y-axis. So we have 3, 3 for the first point. Now this is the second point. Let's go check it out also. So where do we have our second point on the x-axis? On the x-axis, we have our second point on number 6. On number 6, and we'll trace it down to the y-axis. So it is on number 3 on the y-axis. So let's go check the third point out. We have our third point on number 6 on the x-axis. Number 6 on the x-axis. Number 6, our third point on number 6 on the x-axis. Then trace it down to the y-axis. Let's trace it down to the y-axis. Let's trace it down to the y-axis. It is on number 9 on the y-axis. On number 9 on the y-axis. So let's write that down. So we are going to the fourth and the last point, which is here. So where do we have it on the x-axis? We have it on number 3. We have it on number 3. On number 3 on the x-axis. On number 3 on the x-axis. That is the fourth point, and that is the last point. We have it on number 3 on the x-axis. Now you trace it down to the y-axis. On what number does it fall? It falls on number 6 on the y-axis. Number 6 on the y-axis. Now we've gotten the numbers where the points are on the original shape that was given. Now we are to determine our new shape. We have to look for our new shape with the help of the scale factor of 1/3 that was given to us. So how do we do that? Now let's solve for this one. The first one here, which is 3. Don't forget, we are going to multiply every number by 1/3. We are going to multiply all of this number by 1/3 to get the new shape that we were asked to do. So let's start with this one. We have 3 times 1/3. What do we have? That is 1. That is 1 for this one. So our new shape, this one is going to turn 1. This one will no longer be 3 on our new shape. It will no longer be 3 on our new shape. It's going to become 1 on our new shape. So the same thing is going to happen here too. The second one on the y-axis, this is the x-axis, that's the y-axis. X and y. X and y axis, x and y axis. So we've got the number for our new shape on the x and the y axis on the first point. So we go down to the second point. We go down to the second point, which is this. So we have our 6 here. So we are going to multiply the 6 by 1/3. What do we have? We are having 2. We are going to get 2 for the second point on this one on the x-axis. Now on the y-axis, what do we have? We are going to have 1/3 times 3, and that will give us 1. So that will give us 1. So this one has automatically changed to 2, and this one has changed to 1 on our new shape. So let's go to the third one. Let's do the same thing for the third point. So we have 6 times 1 over 3, that is 2, and we also have 9 times 1 over 3, and that is 3, and that is 3. So let's go to the last one. We have 3 times 1 over 3, which is 1, and we also have 6 times 1 over 3, which is 2. Good thing we've gotten every numbers for our new shape. Now let's try draw it on the question. Let's try draw the new shape, and let's see how it's going to be. We are going to compare our new shape with the shape that was originally given to us. Then we are going to realize, let's check it out anyway. Let's check it out. Now we're having 1 on the x-axis on the first point. The first point here. Now it has changed to 1 on the x-axis. Let's locate our 1 by 1. That is, our point must be on 1 on the x-axis and also on 1 on the y-axis. Where is that? Where can we find that? Okay, this is 1 on the x-axis. Then we'll go down to 1 here on the y-axis. Then we'll have our dot here. That's our new point 1. This is our own point 1 now, using our scale factor. Now our new point 2, this is for point 2. The new point 2 is we are going to locate 2 on the x-axis and 1 on the y-axis. 2 on the x-axis and 1 on the y. We have 2 here. This is the x-axis. We have 2, and we are going down to 1 on the y-axis. So we have it here. So the next one on the point 3 is 2 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. 2 on the x-axis, 2 on the x-axis, then we go up the way to 3 on the y-axis. This is 3. Then we put it here. 2 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. So the last one on our fourth point is 1 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. 1 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. So 1 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. Good thing we've gotten our new point. Now we are going to join the point together in order to make this kind of shape, but it's going to be a smaller one anyway. So let's join our point together. Oh, this isn't straight enough. Sorry, it's because we are not using the graph book. So let's join our point together. Good. So we have this, we have this. Good. Then let's go down. Good. So let's close this up. Very good. So if we check out the two shapes, we will realize that this one is smaller than this one. That's because I said it that whenever we are having a number smaller than 1, our new shape will definitely be smaller than the original shape that was given to us. And because we are having 1 over 3, which is smaller than 1, that's why we came up with a smaller shape. In some questions, they can go further by telling us to join our center of enlargement, which is 0, 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. Sometimes in some questions, they can ask us to join our center of enlargement to every new point we've gotten. Like to every new point, our new point, the four new points we just got. Sometimes in some questions, they will ask us to join them together, like draw a line to join the center of enlargement and your new point gotten. Sometimes it happens like that. So in the case whereby we are asked to join our center of enlargement to our new point, this is how we are going to do it. We use our ruler to ensure we get a straight line. So we will do it this way. This is our center of enlargement. Our first point is here. So let's just draw a line. Make sure you ensure it's straight for a neat walk. So we'll draw a line you make your line a bit bigger than your point, than where your point is. So we've just done for the first one. Then our second point is here, so we are going to join it with our center of enlargement, which is here. So we have it this way, we have it like this. So we have the third point, which is right here. Let's do the same thing with the third point. Good. Then we have the last one, which is right here. Our last point is right here. So let's have our line drawn from the center of enlargement to the last point here. Good. So in a case where we are asked to do something like this, to draw our center of enlargement to our various points, so this is how we are going to do it. Sometimes we may be asked to do that, and sometimes we will just be asked to enlarge the shape, to draw the enlargement of shape A, so without asking us to do this. But if we are asked to do this, this is how we are going to do it. So I would like to name this our new shape, shape B. The old shape was shape A, so I would like us to name our own shape B. So we are going to tell them that our new shape is 3 times smaller than the old shape. New shape B is 3 times smaller than the old shape A. So that is it. Our new shape is 3 times smaller than the old shape. Now we have here that an enlargement, another thing we should always take note of in this topic is this: an enlargement with a negative scale factor produces an image on the other side of the center of enlargement. It will produce, when you are having a negative scale factor in a question, it means that the image, the shape that you are going to get will be at the other side. It will be on the negative side of the graph, and the shape would turn upside down. After getting it, after drawing your new shape, you would realize that it would be upside down compared to the original shape, and to be at the other side, at the negative side of the graph. What do I mean? This is an example for it. Enlarge the rectangle ABCD by a scale factor of minus half. This is a negative scale factor. Minus half is a negative scale factor. So 2 things are here now. Number 1, the scale factor is lesser than 1. This is half. So meaning our new shape will definitely be smaller than this old shape, and the new shape will fall at the side, because this is where we have our negative numbers, both on the x and the y axis. This is where we have our negative numbers. So our new shape will fall at the side, and it will be smaller than this because the scale factor is smaller than 1. What do I mean? Let's check it out. So we have the first, let's do it the same way we did the first one. Our first point, which is point A, let's just call it A. Our A point is on the, let's check where it is on the x-axis. On the x-axis, it is on 2 on the x-axis. Then on the y-axis, let's trace it down. It is also on 2 on the y-axis. So the next point, this is point B, have its first number on the x-axis. This is the x-axis. It is on the number 6 on the x-axis. So let's have our number 6. Then we'll trace it down to the y-axis, which is on number 2 on the y-axis. So let's have our number 2. Now we'll move down to point C. So this is point C. On the x-axis, our point 6 is on number 6, and on the y-axis, our point 6 is on number 4. So let's go to the last point, which is point D. On point D, our x-axis is on number 2. Let's trace it down. Is on number 2. Then our y-axis is on number 4. So let's have that. So don't forget, whenever we've gotten our new point, the next thing for us to do is to multiply it by our scale factor. We will multiply every odd point by the scale factor to get our new point. So the odd point on the A point, the odd point on the x-axis is 2. Now we're going to multiply this 2 by minus half. 2 by minus half. So what do we have? We have minus 1. That is for this x-axis. So the same thing, we are going to get the same thing for the y-axis, because we also have 2 here. So we are going to have minus 1 on the y-axis for the point A, for our new diagram, for our new shape. So now on the point B, we have 6, but now we are going to multiply by that 6 by minus half. So what do we have? 1, 3. So we are left with minus 3 on the x-axis. Then on the y-axis, we are going to have minus 1. When we multiply 2 by minus half, we are going to get minus 1. Same thing on this place. When we multiply this 6 by minus half, we are going to get minus 3. Then when we multiply 4 by minus half, we are going to get minus 2. So now here on the last point, when we multiply those 2 by minus half, we are going to get minus 1. Then when we multiply those 4 by minus half, we are going to get minus 2. Same thing with this one, minus 2. Multiply 4 by minus half, you get minus 2. Multiply 4 by minus half, you get minus 2. So now, good thing we've gotten our new numbers. So we'll be able to draw our new rectangle now that is going to be smaller than this. We'll realize that after we finish drawing it, it will turn out to be smaller than the old one that was given to us, because we were given a number that was lesser than 1. So because they are all negative numbers, we have to go down to our negative side of the graph. This is our negative. This is where we have negative on the side of the graph. So we'll trace it on where we have minus 1 on the x-axis and minus 1 on the y-axis. Minus 1 on the x-axis, this is it. Trace it down to minus 1 on the y-axis, which is this. So let's have our first point. This is our own point A here. Our point A is here. Now the second point B, we have minus 3 on the x-axis and minus 1 on the y-axis. Minus 3 on the x-axis, this is our x-axis, minus 3 on the x-axis and minus 1 on the y-axis. Minus 1 on the y-axis. We have it here, minus 3 on the x-axis. We trace it down to minus 1 on the y-axis. Now the next one is minus 3. That's for point C. Now is minus 3 on the x-axis and minus 2 on the y-axis. Minus 3 on the x-axis, minus 2 on the y-axis. X-axis, we have minus 3. Let's trace it down to where we have minus 2 on the y-axis. Now we have minus 2 here. This is minus 3 and this is minus 2. So we are going to have our point here. So the last one, which is the last point, we have minus 1 on the x-axis and minus 2 on the y-axis. This is our x-axis, minus 1. So we are tracing it out to where we have minus 2 on the y-axis, which is this. So we are having it here. So now we've gotten our 4 points. This is point A, point B, point C, and point D. Now we are going to draw our rectangle. We are going to join the line, the points together in order to have our rectangle. La la. Now we've gotten our rectangle, but it's smaller. We can see it's smaller. The new rectangle is smaller than the original rectangle, and that's because we were given a fraction that is smaller than 1. So, and because it is smaller than 1, the new shape has to be smaller than the original shape. And because it is a negative scale factor, we are having it on the negative side of the graph. Good. And in a case whereby we are given, so in a case where we are given our center of enlargement to be -2 and 2, -2 on the x, the first one is for the x-axis and the second one is for the y-axis. If we are asked to, if we are given a question that have this kind of thing, that we should locate our center of enlargement and then draw the lines on the points of our, on the new points of our new shape. You know, the first one we did, our center of enlargement was on 0, was 0 and 0. It was on 0 and 0. That was why we add our point here. This point is for the center of enlargement. But in a case whereby we don't have 0 and 0 and we are given another number like -2 and 2, we would ensure that we trace the first number, which is -2, on the x-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So -2 on the x-axis is this. This is our -2 on the x-axis. Then we'll trace it down to where we have where we have 2 on the y-axis, which is this. So we are going to trace it. This is -2 on the x-axis. This is 2 on the y-axis. So that is that. That